Have you ever wondered how the United States of America came to be? Long before the dawn of the modern nation, this land was home to vibrant indigenous cultures, each with their own unique traditions, beliefs, and ways of life. Like a colossal stage awaiting its players, the American continent was ripe for exploration, discovery, and transformation. Enter the European explorers, venturing into the unknown with the hope of finding new lands, wealth, and opportunities. Their arrival marked a pivotal moment in the history of the continent. It was the beginning of an era of cultural intermingling, as well as conflict. As the settlers began to lay down roots, they came into contact, and often clash, with the indigenous peoples. These encounters, filled with both cooperation and confrontation, would drastically reshape the landscape, cultures, and societies of the American continent. The stage was set for a historic clash of cultures, ideas, and aspirations. What does the War of Independence reveal about the human spirit? It exposes an unyielding resolve to attain freedom, self-determination, and the right to shape one's own destiny. The War of Independence, a pivotal chapter in American history, was ignited by these very ideals. In the mid-18th century, the 13 American colonies, weary of British rule and taxation without representation, began to stir with the winds of rebellion. The spark of revolution was kindled, leading to a fierce and bloody conflict that lasted 8 long years. Through this turmoil, a shared vision emerged. It was a vision of a nation built on the principles of liberty, equality, and democracy. The revolutionaries fought not just against the British Crown, but for the very soul of this envisioned nation. Their triumph led to the creation of the United States of America, a new nation built on the bedrock of these ideals. And so, out of struggle and sacrifice, a nation was born. How did the 19th century transform America? This question takes us to a pivotal time in U.S. history, a time of rapid growth and significant expansion. This period was marked by 2 major revolutions: the agricultural and industrial revolutions. The agricultural revolution saw the introduction of new farming techniques and technology, vastly improving crop yield and efficiency. This led to a surplus of food, laying the groundwork for population growth and urbanization. Meanwhile, the Industrial Revolution brought a shift from hand production methods to machines, new chemical manufacturing and iron production processes, the increasing use of steam power and water power, the development of machine tools, and the rise of the factory system. This transformed the economy, creating new wealth and a burgeoning middle class. Simultaneously, the notion of manifest destiny led to westward expansion. As settlers moved across the continent, they shaped the physical and cultural boundaries of the nation. However, this expansion was not without conflict. Encounters with indigenous peoples often resulted in violence and displacement, a sobering aspect of this period that deepened the national consciousness and prompted important discussions about the nation's identity and values. So the 19th century was a dynamic era of transformation for America. The country grew in size and stature, its economy evolved, and its national identity began to take shape. The stage was set for a dramatic turning point in the nation's history. What toll did the Civil War take on the nation's spirit and identity? The Civil War, a tragic chapter in American history, was a clash of ideologies, a conflict of the North's desire for a union and the South's demand for independence and the preservation of slavery. It was a war that pitted brother against brother, split families, and tore the fabric of the nation apart. At the heart of the Civil War was the issue of slavery, a festering wound that had been left unhealed by the nation's founders. The war was a reflection of the deep divide within the country over the question of human rights and freedom. The South, with its agrarian economy, relied heavily on slavery, while the North, more industrialized and progressive, sought its abolition. The war had profound consequences. It claimed more than 600,000 lives, left cities in ruins, and devastated the economy. But crucially, it also led to the abolition of slavery, marking a significant step towards equality. In the aftermath of the war, the nation faced the daunting task of reunification. It was a period of reconstruction, of rebuilding not just the physical structures, but also the social, political, and economic systems. It was a time when the nation strove to heal the wounds of war, to reconcile differences, and to build a fairer society. The nation emerged from the crucible of war stronger and more united. The Civil War, while a distressing period, ultimately led to a more unified and equitable nation. How did the 20th century solidify America's global influence, you might ask? Well, let's delve into this fascinating period in history. The 20th century marked a pivotal era in the story of America's rise on the world stage. This was a time of immense global upheaval, and the United States, guided by its principles of freedom and democracy, found itself at the heart of it all. The Second World War was a defining moment. America's contribution to the Allied victory was instrumental and demonstrated its military prowess and industrial might. This victory didn't just mark the end of a war, it signaled the beginning of America's ascendancy as a global superpower. In the aftermath of World War II, the world was divided into two ideological camps: the Democratic West, led by the United States, and the Communist East, headed by the Soviet Union. This period, known as the Cold War, saw the United States take on a leadership role, championing the cause of democracy against the spread of communism. But the 20th century was not just about wars and global politics. Back home, America was grappling with its own inner demons. The civil rights movement, led by brave individuals like Martin Luther King Jr., fought tirelessly for racial equality, challenging the deep-seated prejudices of the time. This movement was a testament to the enduring spirit of the American people and their pursuit of justice. The Vietnam War, a contentious chapter in American history, brought its own share of challenges. It tested the nation's resolve and led to soul-searching about America's role in the world. Despite the turmoil, it was a time of transformation, shaping America's character in profound ways. The United States stands today as a global leader, a symbol of cultural diversity and resilience. The 20th century, with its triumphs and tribulations, played a crucial role in cementing this position. From the battlefields of World War II to the civil rights movement's marches, these events have defined the nation we know today.